Good morning, and thank you for starting your day with us. So lie down on the back, bend the knees, place one hand on your chest and one hand on your rib cage, and just begin breathing into your stomach. Breathe as deeply as you can so you feel everything filling. And then exhale, just let it fall. So especially first thing in the morning, if we're not mindful and don't really try to expand, sometimes the body doesn't want to. It may be a little more difficult to feel this right now, though, if you're not giving it an extra effort. So when you inhale, feel the stomach fill, feel the ribs separate. And when you exhale, feel the stomach fall back to the floor and the ribs come back together. And the deeper the breath, the more the movement. So you can deepen this breath. You'll feel the stomach rise even more. You'll feel the ribs separate even more. You'll even feel the chest lift and separate. And we'll relax again and feel everything fall. So now, put a little more effort into this. Feel the stomach, the ribs, the chest. As you exhale, drop your chest and your ribs and your stomach. And now you can add a little bit of effort here. Fill ribs, chest, and gently drop the chest, ribs, stomach. So do a couple of these as fast or as slowly as you like, inhaling from bottom to top. Exhaling top to bottom. And if you really want to make a deep, deep effort, you have to work your chest, work your upper stomach, work your lower stomach, and you even go down to the base of the stomach at the pelvic floor. And if you push every last ounce of air out, you'll feel yourself engaging the pelvic floor. So we're going to take a couple more breaths and fill from the bottom all the way to the top. And actively push chest, ribs, stomach, engage the pelvic floor. Inhale, bring more blood to the brain and the body. Exhale, strengthening the muscles. Feel the strength that you need to open up and the strength that you need to contract. And from there, you can gently relax. We'll roll over onto the side and come up onto the knees here. And right now, I'm just going to have you practice this idea of a pelvic tilt. When we fill the stomach, we tend to bend slightly at the waist because it allows the stomach to expand. Also, because a lot of us have very tight hip flexors, it's hard for us to kneel in position like this. So fill the stomach. As you exhale, as we pull the stomach back, we're going to tuck the tailbone down toward the floor. So we fill again from the bottom, stomach, ribs, chest, and then we empty chest, ribs, stomach, and push with the pelvis forward as you pull the stomach back as a way of contracting even further. So you're using your gluteal muscles now too. So inhale, exhale, top to bottom. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract. Last time in. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach, and glutes. So your hips may be a little tired right now. We're going to sit back on the heels. And I'm just going to have you gently lift up onto the knees and sit back onto the heels. Press the knees together and just practice that little tilt. Exhale. Inhale, fill. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach. Inhale, fill. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach, pelvic floor. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach, pelvic floor. We'll come back up onto the knees. We're going to keep the knees together and keep the toes pointed so the tops of my feet are pressing into the floor. I'm going to relax my arms to the sides. Now, this is also a little difficult. This really requires flexibility in your outer hips in order to push your thighs together. You can do it. I know you can. We're going to stand up nice and tall here. If you tuck your pelvis under, I'm just going to drop my head. And I'm dropping my chin, but not dropping my neck. So dropping the chin. I'm going to rotate over to the right and to the back and to the left or front. So I'm mirroring you. So I'm going backwards. It really doesn't matter what direction you go. What does matter is that you're able to hold your body steady and solid and straight as you just move your head. So even your neck is steady and your head, we'll bring the head back to the center. Your head's like a bobblehead. It can kind of go back and forth. It can go forward and back. But the neck is going to stay steady. The head is just going to kind of rotate on the neck. So we're going to change direction here and just move a little more quickly. Just feel the head rotating around the base of the neck. And if you're getting tired in your stomach, remember that we're inhaling and now we're exhaling. And we'll inhale as we come around to the front. Exhale as we come to the back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Last time. Exhale. And we exhale as we drop the head backward because we really want to be mindful of stabilizing when we drop the head backward. We're going to change the position now. Turn the toes under. See if you can sit back on those toes, and that might not be easy. If your feet are very stiff, the goal here is to stretch through the bottoms of your feet. See if you can feel all 5 toes turning under. Most of us let go in those pinky toes. If you walk your knees a little bit wider, see if you can stretch through the outsides of your feet, the outside arches, and then roll toward the inside, stretching through the inside arches. Roll to the outside, outside arches. Roll to the inside. We're going to hold that inside roll, and now I'm just going to have you tilt the pelvis. Inhale, fill. Exhale. Inhale, fill. So exhale. Chest, ribs, stomach, pelvic floor. Inhale, move it up. Deeply as you can. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach, pelvic floor, and feel that nice stretch in the tops of the thighs and the bottoms of the feet. From here, we're going to come up into a kneeling position again. I'm going to have you drop your feet again so that the tops of the feet are pressing into the floor. We're going to do what we call a knee squat. So I'm going to bring my arms out in front now. Push with your arms, pull back. Push, pull back. Push, pull back. And now lift with your shoulders and drop. Lift and drop. Now hold your stomach firmly. Try it again. Lift and drop. Really stabilize through your shins. Drop those shoulders. As we inhale, we're going to sit back toward the heels. You could go all the way back or just go halfway back. And then rise up to our kneeling position. So as a matter of fact, let's exhale on the way down. Inhale on the way up. Exhale down, really press into your shins. Inhale on the way up. As you come up now, hold that pelvic tilt and push into the outsides of your thighs. We're going to do 3 more. Down, push into the outsides of your hips, outsides of your thighs, come back up. Here's 2. Hold the stomach in to stretch through the lower back and come back up. Square off your shoulders, last 1. Come back up, come back up, come back up. Press the thighs away from each other, press the shins away from each other, and relax the arms. From here, we're going to come into a standing position. Press into 4 corners of each heel. Can you find the front 2 corners of your heel and the back 2 corners of your heel? And push down into the entire surface of each heel. Now, if you really push into those heels, oh gosh, fronts of my feet are lifting up a little bit. I have to sink now forward a little bit to stabilize the fronts of my feet. So now I'm going to find the ball of my big toe and the ball of my little toe. And now I'm going to relax the front corners of my heels and just find 4 corners of my entire foot. The ball of my big toe, ball of my little toe, the outer corner of the back of my heel, and the inner corner. And if I perch, use all 4 of those points on each foot to balance out my weight. Well, now I can begin to tilt my pelvis again, just like what we were doing before. And now I'm a lot steadier on my feet. And now I can pull my shoulders back without arching my back. And everything can stack into a straight line like a Jenga stack. So everything has to be directly over the lower joints. We go from ankles to knees, knees to hips, hips to ribs, ribs to shoulders, shoulders to neck, and neck to head. Inhale, fill, rise. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach, pelvic floor. Inhale. And when we inhale, you can push into the outsides of your hips and feet. Exhale, pull toward the center. Chest, ribs, stomach, and core. One more time. In. Exhale, chest, ribs, stomach, and core. And from here, I'm going to take a step back with my left foot. So again, I'm just mirroring you. Taking a step back with my left foot, and I'm going to press into the top of that foot. Now, if I need balance, I can touch the wall. I could put my arms out. But notice how you can help yourself with the balance. What happens when you press into the outside of that back foot toward the pinky toe and press into the outside of the front foot toward the bottom of the pinky toe? So bottom of the front foot, top of the back foot. Or change. How about the bottom big toe in front and the big toe in back? Or try pushing into the front foot and pushing that back foot back. or pulling the two together. So all of this stuff is emphasizing different parts of your hips and legs, and they're all working together. So from here, I'm going to have you lean forward and just roll back into that back heel. And allow yourself to push forward with the front foot, press back with the back foot, and feel that stretch in the inside of the calf. So we're going to come forward, stretching with the shin, and backward, stretching with the calf. Forward and backward. One more time, forward and backward. And really push the front foot forward, push the back foot backward. And then straighten out your legs. And from here, we're just going to step the feet together. And we're just going to gently drop forward. Bring your legs about hip width apart and drop just slightly forward. So you can rest your hands on your thighs, rest them on your knees. You can come all the way to the floor if you want. Wherever you are, we're just going to breathe again, exhaling, rounding through the back and pulling the stomach toward the spine. Inhaling, relaxing and flattening out. Exhaling, pulling the stomach. Inhaling. So notice we're bent over now. Gravity is wanting us to pull forward. So in order to oppose gravity, we got to pull backward. When we were on our knees, we had to pull the stomach in to flatten out the hips because gravity is helping us flatten out the hips. Gravity is actually giving us too much help flattening out the hips. We need to go into the lower back. So one more time, inhale, fill the belly. Exhale, pull the stomach toward the spine. Feel that stretch in the lower back, and we'll gently to an upright position. Turn around, stagger the feet, and we'll just move backward and forth with that opposite leg. And of course, you don't have to turn around. You can just stay right where you are. But we'll switch feet. So I'm pointing that back foot, pressing into the foot, feeling the front of the foot, the front of the shin, and then feeling the back pinky toe press into the floor, and maybe the front pinky toe as well, the bottom of that toe. And then moving into the big toe. And from here, I'm going to roll back onto that back heel. And now I'm stretching through my calf. And same idea here. How does it feel to press in the outside of the foot versus the inside of the foot? So let's roll forward and back. As we come forward, stretching through the front of the leg, backward, stretching through the calf and the bottom of the foot. Forward and backward. Last time, forward and backward. And we'll step in together. And now we're just going to practice a little bit of balancing here with just some simple marching. So I'm bringing my foot, hands are resting on my knees. Now, how high am I going to bring my knee? About 90 degrees at my elbow. That's about as high as I want to come. But notice that each time you step, you find your balance. You get a little bit better. Why is that? Well, you're feeling into what you need to do. You're feeling the entire surface of your foot spreading out on the floor. Lift and step. And lift and step. And I'm coming into a very bad habit of shifting side to side. Know that that's a compensation. I'm someone who wants to avoid using my outer thighs, and that's what that is about. And we'll take one more step here. See if you can hold this balance. Go ahead and flex the raised foot. Feel how that helps you to stabilize. That also helps you to separate your hips. It helps you to engage your outer thighs a little bit more. Take a nice deep breath, and as you exhale, step down, press into both feet, opposite leg now. Again, flex that foot. That forces you to engage your outer thighs and hips. One more nice deep breath. As you exhale, we'll come down. Now, step the feet together. Stabilize again with the hips. So we're standing up again. Gravity isn't helping us pull or sink our stomach forward. We're standing tall. So again, when we pull the stomach back, we really have to work those hips. Squeeze the inner thighs together. So inhale, fill. Exhale. Squeeze the inner thighs together and tuck the pelvis under. Inhale. Exhale. Last time in. Now work those inner thighs. Exhale, squeeze everything so that you can stand as tall as you possibly can. You should feel a nice stretch through the fronts of your hips. Nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we'll relax. And just squat down. I'm going to come down onto my back for a final relaxation. Just sinking into the floor, extending the legs, and now I'm just feeling into my body. We started with that diaphragmatic breathing, talking about how it opposes the stress response. We then induce some stress, just moving the body in different ways and continuing to really challenge the stomach. And now we're lying on the floor and just going into the body. You may notice you're a little warmer. You may notice vibrating in some of the areas of your body where you might be tired. You may notice your heart rate a little bit higher. Find something that you can easily pay attention to. You might have soreness. That's a great one to pay attention to. You might be breathing hard. And just watch it. Watch the soreness. Where is it? What's happening? Does it swirl? Does it pulse? As you begin to quiet down, your body will naturally adopt diaphragmatic breathing to bring everything back into equilibrium. So that pain you were feeling is probably beginning to subside. The breath rate is probably beginning to slow. Muscles probably beginning to relax. You may feel some twitching in your muscles. Also a result of the muscles relaxing. muscles that have been tense while you were moving, that may not have been used in a while. Notice how as soon as you stopped the increased activity, the body kicked in again to bring you back to equilibrium. You didn't have to do anything. It calmed you down. And there's a whole cascade of chemical reactions that are taking place, not the least of which is the production of serotonin that brings the body down from that excited state. You make these things all by yourself. And in fact, you make these things when you practice diaphragmatic breathing. Now, the pharmaceutical industry manufactures these things in test tubes, and certainly they have their application. But know that you can bring this about. And also know that this response can sometimes be distorted when we are constantly under stress and we never take the time to quiet the body down. The body continues to produce those stress hormones. Just this minute or two of being still is allowing your blood to wash those stress hormones out of your body. They're not being produced right now. What's being produced are those counteracting hormones. And notice too that things pass. The stress feels permanent sometimes. That is a result of the stress itself. Those hormones keep pumping out. Those stress hormones. It does feel like the stress never goes away. But it doesn't go away because the hormones keep perpetuating it. We've got to stop. And take steps to bring ourselves back. We've reached the end of our time. Bring yourself back in whatever way feels comfortable for you. A long stretch. A yawn. Rotating the head from side to side. Gently roll to one side to bring yourself back. Give yourself a moment on your side. And then bring yourself back to an upright position. Thank you for starting your day today with status hearing. Remember that the more we practice this, the more second nature it becomes. We get better at it, but we also begin to automatically turn to it. And when you turn to it over and over again, that too becomes a habit and you manage stress much, much better. It takes time, it takes consistent practice, but it's possible. It really does work. Thanks again for joining me. Namaste.